You're listening to The Real Estate Ride. Make sure to subscribe and enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody, it's Annie, and
Jay.
this is The Real Estate Ride. You have to ignore my hair because,
Podcast.
good gravy, it's a disaster. I
Yep.
have a hair appointment tomorrow, so there's that.
Me too. Little dad jokes there.
He's good at dad jokes. You'll see.
Anyway, this
Or he thinks he is, I should say.
yeah. All my jokes are funny.
Uh-huh.
Just ask my children.
All right, so today we're going to talk about working together.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
So Jay and I, just a little backstory, I guess, for those of you that don't know us very well at all. We met in high school. We've been high school sweethearts. So we grew up together. We've
Yes.
been married for 28 years in 2026. Is that right?
Yes.
I think.
Yes, that's correct.
And together for 35,
Yes.
which is insane. But all of that to say, we've grew up together. We've lived together. We are now married, obviously. We have 4 children.
We did not always work together.
Correct. That's what
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So we have been together as a couple for a very long time, but working together was not really ever the plan.
No.
It was never in the cards as far as like what we talked about long term.
No.
I did my own thing. He did his.
Yes. And then I started getting so busy that I couldn't keep up and do everything on
And
my own.
Right. And you talked about hiring somebody, and I thought this was kind of stupid. Why are we hiring somebody when I was taking care of the kids and running a successful cleaning business by myself?
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
several clients. It worked well as far as our kids' schedule was concerned, but it just didn't make sense to me to hire somebody that had no idea what the goal was as far as our real estate business was concerned, when I had some time that I could work part-time with Jay initially, and then that turned into I was working more than him, and now it's a race some days to see who's more busy.
Yeah, not a race that we like, but
But all the rat race of who's busier.
you have ups and downs, and you have, like, I can't think of the word that I want to use, but like an explosive growth period, I guess is
Yeah, that's probably
the
the
Dutch phrase. So we're in an explosive growth period now,
and have been for quite some time, if we're being honest.
and man, it can wear on you.
Yeah,
So
to say the least.
first tip with that, when you're working together and you're in growth mode and things are crazy, like, you got to give some grace and separate some time from work with pleasure, right? So have some downtime where you're not going to talk about work.
And to Jay's point, like, you have to schedule that, in all honesty.
Literally, like, cut off time.
Like, you have to say, okay, we're working until such and such time, and then no more business shop talk for the rest of the day, evening kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And messaging is so easy now, like with text.
Right.
People were texting us at 11 o'clock last night,
And then the phone started ringing at 7 o'clock this morning.
just
So-
to give you an idea. Now, I just ignore, like, it's okay. Like, you can ignore people, right?
But to that point, you you didn't think that always.
No.
You always thought, especially since you started out in the business as a real estate agent, agents only make money from clients
Yeah.
that they have buying and selling houses. So Jay felt like it was always a necessity to answer the phone. And that was one of the things that I took, right away when I started helping him. Like, this is not okay. Like, you should not be working 40 hours in office and then 40 hours outside of office. on
Yeah.
the same stuff just by answering phone calls or emails or whatever. So
Yeah, just to give a little context to that, before Annie started working with me, I would take 1 day off per month, not per week, per month.
right. And he thought that that was great.
And that is terrible. Like that's not sustainable, and you only live one life, and to just consume yourself with work doesn't solve, like it doesn't give you peace, I guess I should say.
Right.
It doesn't fulfill you or give you a higher level of happiness.
Yeah, there's a meme going around right now. I see it a lot on social media that says, don't be so busy earning a living to live your life.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult for entrepreneurs of any kind, but especially in real estate, because real estate, it really is like a 24-hour, 7 days a week kind of thing. There's always people putting deals together. There's always houses to be looked at. There's always
Yes.
offers to be made, and houses to be listed even. So
Yeah. You can put filters in, like you can set your email. Hey, I don't reply to emails after 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever your goal is for when you're going to take off work. You can do the same thing on your voicemail. Hey, I'm in office from whatever to whenever.
I mean, doctors' offices have working hours, and you guys get phone calls, I'm sure, from telemarketers and other places that say, our business operating hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you've reached this message after those hours, give us a call back. Like,
Yes.
entrepreneurs really have a difficult time believing that they can do what all other businesses do in America, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You set business hours, and that's what you work. Even our email has a signature at the bottom that has our lovely picture together and then our names. But now I've even added, we look at emails twice a day, and we will get back to you within 24 to 48 business hours, just to give us a buffer,
Yeah.
because maybe we can access the email and take off and answer 20 in a 30-minute period, and maybe we need 3 days to get back to them. So it just depends on what you have going, and setting those boundaries are really important, not only for your business and, if as you grow, but for a couple too, because it can get ugly.
Yeah. When we started, like first of all, I'm not a good manager or teacher.
Hey, I have that on recorded video.
Because I'm going to teach you how I want it done. And there's probably 3 other ways to get it done that might be faster. Probably are faster.
Hey, at least he's being honest.
But know thyself, right?
All right.
Know what you're good at. Know what you're bad at. Give the bad stuff to someone else. You do the good stuff.
Learn to delegate.
Right. And I had a misconception that I got to hire someone full time right off the bat, 40 hours a week with benefits, blah, blah, blah. It's not that way. Like, first Annie started helping, and one way that we were able to get past the difficult beginning, because the first 30 days was brutal, and that's because we didn't know who was going to do what.
Right.
Right. And Annie's like, you're micromanaging me, and I don't need you to tell me what to do. You're not my boss. I'm like, no, I have to tell you what to do because I need you to do it. She's like, no, just tell me what needs done, not how to do it. And that was a little bit of an eye-opener for me, because then she said, make a list, right? This, at the time, was a suggestion from our coach.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
We had a business and life coach when we were going through this. So that made it a little bit more amicable on some days.
Yeah.
Where we can call and say, hey, this isn't working for me, or this isn't working for him. Can you help us kind of navigate through this area of...
Yeah. I think he might be more like a mediator at that time. Coach.
For sure. For sure.
But it was decided, hey, make a list of everything that needs done. And then I put down everything that I wanted to do, the stuff I like to do.
Exactly, which is not what you think you need to do, but what you want to do and what you enjoy doing and what you like to do as far as your business is concerned. It's not what you think you need to do.
Yeah. So I wrote the list. I gave it to Annie. I left. I went and did my stuff. I came back with a whole page. Everything was done. I was like, no, really, what's done? She's like, everything. I said, there's no way. How did you get that done? Because she's a getter doner. Okay. That's an Ohio term.
Evidently, I've lived in Ohio my entire life and I've never heard that. So
Maybe Southern Ohio term, but I would argue Central Ohio.
anyway, I work off of lists really well. Jay cannot stand paperwork, cannot stand to organize anything. He likes things organized, don't get me wrong. And it's a whole heck of a lot easier to find organized. And he would agree with that.
Yeah. And we're opposite. We have opposite personalities. And so it was pretty easy to split up tasks once we listed it out.
I am not a seller. I can sell it if I need to, but that is not my forte. Jay is he can sell anything to anyone and he has a very long and very productive and successful sales background in his life. So he has, he worked in restaurants, he worked in food sales, he worked in credit card sales, he worked.
Yeah. I was self-employed at 12. Okay. I had a paper route. I had to sell subscriptions to the paper route. I sold so many. I got a second paper route and a bike. So I could do 2 routes on a bicycle. So I've been a hustler since I was 12.
So because of that, it's ingrained in him to always be upselling, always be, talking to people. He's very outgoing. I could stand in the corner by myself and be perfectly happy. Although there are a lot of people that think I like to be the center of attention because I have a very specific way of things being done, and I'm very meticulous about some things, and I could give 2 shits, to be 100% honest, about others. Pardon my French.
Sorry, children.
I work with contractors all day, so it comes and goes as it needs to. But honestly, even though we have been together forever and we have the same birthday, he is a year older than me, but we do have the same birthday, and we are both Scorpios.
Listen, I want to go back to time off, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it just popped in my head, and that's how my brain works. So time off, that was hard for me. Like people calling, asking, can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
The easiest way for me was to say, I have an appointment. I can't.
They don't need to know what that appointment is.
But I can do this day or this time or this day or this time, right? So that appointment, it was an appointment. It's with me, myself, and or my wife, and or my children, and or our family. And it's okay to say no.
Right.
Or I can't do it at this time. So that was a powerful tool that I used to make necessary changes to enjoy some personal time.
It really just boils down to boundaries, right? Boundaries with your contractors, if you have them, boundaries with your agents, if you work with those, boundaries with everyone, buyers, sellers, whatever realm of real estate that you're in or business in general. Boundaries are really important. Boundaries for clients, boundaries for talking shop with your significant other, or even your friends. There are a lot of friends that go into business together that don't last long term either because they don't divvy up not the right way, but they don't divvy up the responsibilities and roles effectively or equally. And then one partner gets into all the feels of they're doing all of the work and not getting all of the reward, and the other one feels like they may or may not be being shut out because the other one is taking on so much responsibility. So it's not only just with married couples or significant others, it's with friendships that you do business with. Family members you do business with, whatever the case may be. It can be very difficult to get through all of the muckiness of it
Yeah.
if you don't really just have a serious conversation and be like, listen, and we've had this conversation a lot. It doesn't matter what we do in business if it, takes off and we're super successful in it, or if it tanks and we lose everything, which God forbid that occur. But I think you get the point, is that no matter what happens business wise, our relationship comes first. And
Yeah.
no matter what, if we get to the point where we're arguing all of the time about everything, then one of us takes a step back. Typically that's me, because I just am done mentally sometimes. Definitely emotionally sometimes. But other times I'm like, listen, you are just going to have to deal with this, and I'm just going to have to let it be. Because no matter what occurs in business, our relationship comes first. It's more important to me to stay happily married than it is to be working in our business together. So if we get up, and we've been there, it's happened. There has been some really rough patches where I'm like, you know what? Before I quit and walk away completely, I'm going to take a couple days, or I'm going to take a couple hours, or I'm going to, whatever the case may be. And depending on how bad the fallout of the
Yeah.
conversation was.
And I think it's important anyway for me to have alone time. I need me time, and that's not just separate from Annie. That's separate from
Everyone.
anyone and everyone on planet Earth. Hey.
Because in all honesty, if you work with your spouse or your significant other and then you go home and you're there with them all of that time too, that's why we consciously make an effort to have date night weekly, and even sprinkle in some date afternoons for lunch or whatever. Not that you have to take this elaborate long time for lunch, but just be like, okay, we're not going to talk about business. We're not going to talk about projects. We're not going to answer our phones. We're not going to look at text messages. We're going to put our stuff away or turn it over, have lunch, or have a date night, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, the alone time for me is some meditation each morning. I like it completely quiet, and I enjoy to do that a lot when the sun is coming up. I get less of that in the winter time because the sun comes up later and I'm already awake and want to do my meditation when I get up. But that's one thing that I do.
And Jay's a perfect example about meditating and thinking that you cannot sit still long enough to meditate.
Yeah, start with 3 minutes. That's all you can handle.
Never used to meditate, and now he meditates every day.
Initially, that's all you can handle. Now, honestly, I do usually 10 minutes, sometimes 15. Once in a great while, if I'm pressed, 5 minutes. But typically 10 is all I need, and that sets me up right for the day. I read my goals, my vision, and meditate on that for who I want to become and who I want to be. Right? And that's powerful programming to achieve what you want in your life. I also like to work out by myself, running, biking, swimming.
If I'm running, then everyone should be running. That's something seriously wrong. But yes.
So that gives me some additional alone time. And to be frank, that's usually when I come up with my greatest ideas, in the quiet, alone time. So maybe that's you, maybe not, but that helps me to find balance.
Yeah. And I mean, like he said, it could be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. It can be meditating. It can be a walk. It can be just sitting somewhere, grounding yourself and your thoughts. It can be exercise, could be journaling. I do a little bit of everything in the morning. Some days I wake up and literally before my eyeballs open, my phone is going off.
Like today.
Yeah. And then other days I can take the time and, work out or do a stretch of some sort, take self-care time, get my hair done. Things like that. But honestly, setting boundaries, setting yourself up for some downtime, whether that's independently or with friends or, you know, each other, whatever.
Yeah.
Just making sure that the relationship that you had going into whatever venture you're doing together is still the relationship that you want moving through the relationship or the business relationship or venture.
Yeah.
So, and it will be ugly while you find your fitting and when you figure out, you know, who's doing what and where their strengths are. Sometimes you already know that and sometimes you don't. Like
Yeah.
Day and I knew what I was good at and he knew what he was good at, but we really didn't know how that would mesh together and how it would all kind of work out without trial and error. Like he said before, he tried to tell me what to do and how to do it. And I just said, listen, you're not my boss. We're doing this together. So I understand that you feel like you need to tell me how to do this, but just tell me what needs to be done. And if I have questions, then I'll ask.
Yeah. And that was very effective. And just 2 weeks before that, we were ready to quit and kill each other. So it's important to also review
Mm-hmm.
and adjust.
Yeah, for sure. Make adjustments, meet weekly, daily if you need to at first. Adjust, and then maybe you'll find out that neither one of you want to do a list of things, and then that's when you need to hire somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
We hired someone to start, and that's what I was started to say earlier is we just started her at 10 hours per week.
Yeah.
Part-time.
It was a part-time stay-at-home mom. Otherwise, she had kids in part-time kindergarten, so she didn't want to work every day. She only had so many hours a day to work, so it was
Yeah.
like a perfect fit for her. She could work from home. She could come into the office. At that time, the office was in our house,
Yeah.
which leads me to another thing. You know, if you start hiring people part-time and, you know, eventually you have 2 or 3 part-timers working from your home, then maybe it makes more sense to do one full-time from an office space or something like that. If you want to keep everybody part-time, that's fine too, but just make sure that you are delegating who's doing what so that everything you don't want to do together collectively gets accomplished by somebody else.
Yes. Exactly.
So there's lots of tips and tricks. I mean, we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours over the last 15 years we've been in business. So
Yeah, but I think we covered most of the key points that we wanted to convey to you today.
of course.
And that includes figuring out who's going to do what.
Yes.
Not how, but what.
Right. Setting boundaries
Yep.
for yourself as individuals and for the relationship that you had going into the business, whether that's with a significant other or family member or friend.
And for team members or clients or fill in the blank.
Right. So set boundaries, develop a list of who's doing what and what makes the most sense. Figure out your strong suits, whether that's doing things and seeing if you like them or not, or asking somebody else, hey, what do you think my unique genius is what the phrase is that we hear a lot.
Yeah.
So figure out what your unique genius is for yourself or through somebody else
Yeah.
telling you, hey, I think you're really good at this, and then figuring out what your niche is and then delegating the rest. Or
Yeah.
you know, there were a lot of things that I was comfortable doing and he wasn't, and vice versa. And then, you know, I was okay at that. I kind of, once I started, you know, you have to craft whatever you're working on too to
Yeah.
make it yours and make it the most effective and efficient for you. So it takes practice, it takes trial and error, and in our case, a lot of battles, but
Yeah.
worked out for us.
You can also take some personality tests to help assist you in what your skills and talents are.
Yep.
That could be the predictive index,
Or the disc test.
a really great one. The disc test, you can go to Tony Robbins' website and
Get it for fairly inexpensive. It used to be free, but I don't think it is anymore.
yeah, I don't know for sure, but
There's lots of different tips and tricks and tools, and reach out if you have any questions or if you need some help figuring it out and navigating through the ups and downs of working with your significant other, because there will be a lot, I have a feeling.
absolutely.
So this is the Real Estate Ride.
Have a great day.
Hey everybody, it's Jay.
This is Annie.
We are so grateful for you joining us on our podcast and listening in and participating. We want to offer you this additional free bonus, and that is joining our Facebook group.
Yes, where we will have other individuals, not just us, but having conversations on all things real estate, and we would love to have you join us. So just click the link below and head on over and join our group.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the other side.